Hola, happy Wednesday, folks. Hope you're all having a great day and a great first week of school for a lot of you back to schoolers. I had a great conversation with Jocelyn yesterday. Jocelyn and I, every now and then, when we can, we get together at Starbucks. And Chloe always says, "You guys always take so long when you go to Starbucks." But we take our planners and we just dream for a while and make plans and see what we're up to next. And I always wonder when people are sitting around us, do they think, God, these girls are like total dreamers and badasses? Or are they thinking, what are they on? And how can I get some? It's funny because we tend to look around, but we're always talking about big stuff. So yesterday we got into this conversation about living and are we really living, and people who have a fear of dying. And I was reminding her of a quote in Braveheart that says, "Every man dies, but not every man lives." So the question today is, are you living? Are you really living your life? I think about that all the time, and I don't have a fear of dying. I feel like I've done it all. I know where I'm going. I'm not in a hurry to get there, but if I went today, I can say that I've really done everything that I wanted to do. If it weren't for the fact that I add things to my bucket just about every day, I add something new, I really have done everything that I wanted to do in that original bucket that turned into a 5-gallon drum of things that I wanted to accomplish. Is there a lot more I want to do? Of course, absolutely. Would I love to climb Mount Kilimanjaro with my kids and Chloe, when she's old enough, and I'll probably be older too? Do I want to stay in shape to be able to do that? Of course I do. But I'm not afraid because I've really done it all. I live in passion every day and I live with passion. And then I started thinking, yes, we always desire more, and I'm no exception. And I think people should always be, or could always be, in search of more, or at least they should be. And I'm not talking about material more. I'm talking about loving more and experiencing more and giving more and just living more. And a big part of that is whatever you want in your life. Hola, Dave. Talk about living more, Mr. Dave. Whatever you want in your life the most, hola, Arlene, give it away. If you want to feel empowered, go out there and empower people. If you want to feel encouraged, go out there and encourage people. If you want to be loved, go out there and give your love. Anything that you want to receive, the best way to do that is to just go out and give it away. And one of the things that I love to do with people is what I call a centenarian speech. And I used to do it like an obituary, but freaking Cubans and Latins in Miami are afraid of talking about death. They figure if they don't talk about it, it's never going to come, and they're just going to ignore it and feel like it's never going to happen. So I turned it into an exercise that I call the centenarian speech. And what they do there is they are writing a speech that someone is going to deliver on their 100th birthday party. And in there, they get to write down everything that they want someone to say. Now, in the course of a workshop, of a short workshop, I only give them 5 minutes to do this. But I love how people start really getting into it. At first, the first 60, 90 seconds, they really don't even know. They're holding their pen. They don't know much what to do. But once they start writing, man, it all, comes out. And it's a beautiful thing. And the people that dare to get up and share their centenarian speech with the group, it's usually things like legacy, the impact that they've made on others in their 100 years. It's never, or rarely, I don't know that I remember ever hearing it about, the cars that they drove and the yacht that they had. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think if that's what pushes you to strive for more, go for it. But I think when people are looking back, they're thinking about the impact that they've made on this world. They love it, right? And I think that a lot of times people don't bother to research what it is that's going to drive them. Napoleon Hill used to say, start with the end in mind and then work backwards. And what I love about that centenarian speech exercise is that people really get to see where they want to end up, and then they have to adjust accordingly. based on what they're doing now. What you're doing now, is that going to guarantee that you're going to have that result when you're 100? And I think that's just a good way of getting people to really look inside of themselves and see if they're living life to the fullest. I encourage you to live in passion every day. Do something every day that makes you happy, that makes you feel really alive. More than anything, I don't want people to just live. I want you to be alive. I want you to exist more. And I love to see people that are living their passion, living their legacy, living their life the way that they want to do it. And one of the things that I love about having really cool kids, yes, I'm totally biased, but I happen to have really cool kids, and my granddaughter's coming along, and my son-in-law and daughter-in-law, and yes, I'm going to call her that, Georgie and Jamie. They're really cool, and they're really all about living in passion and living every day. And they're not just getting home from work and sitting on the couch and watching the news and just waiting for the next day to go to work. And I mean, I've seen a shift in how people out there are doing it, even people my age that were at this cusp of getting into that second half. And I wish I had a copy of the book with me, and I think I have it at my office, the book Falling Upwards, which Dave, who's on, recommended to me, and I read it and reread it and heard it on Audible and bought the workbook of it. It's a great book to look at that next half, and that next half doesn't have to come at 50. Sometimes it comes at 25. But hola, David. But I think it's a great way to have us reassess what's important to us. And a lot of times we're not bothering to research that. We're not bothering to write it down. We're not bothering to look into it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that this second half is going to be even more magical than this first half. And like I said, I feel completely fulfilled. I feel happy. I feel like I've done it all. I feel like if I died right now, I'd want a big party, because I really have lived, and I really have, I say I've sucked it dry. But based on on the platform now that's been established, I think the next 50 are going to be amazing. So I just want to encourage all of you to live your lives every day to the fullest. That will remove the fear of dying, the fear of what comes next, the fear of the unknown. Because if you're really living and not leaving anything for later, it doesn't matter. And that's the way that I see it. I encourage you to do that. Like I said, I encourage you to exist more. And please stop worrying about shit that doesn't exist, that will steal your happiness, that will have you living in a place of fear. And a lot of that shit that you're worrying about does not exist, and it's never going to happen. Hola, Kriti. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you soon.